I'm full of questions, aren't I? Am I full of answers? I don't know. I do have one question before I just go and make my other channel, which is the reason why I wanted to get on the tubes in the first instance, which is the Sinclair method, which is the way you actually retrain your brain regarding addiction, developed for alcohol, and it is actually a cure. It's not something that you fight every day. It's not something that you deny to yourself or others and have to be supported in daily, etc., because it actually removes the physical addiction, and not only that, it removes it from your brain. And people really don't understand that. And if you have trouble with things that are paradoxical, people can have trouble opening up about methods and what things actually work. Because you can argue semantics all you like, can't you? You can argue who's an addict, who has a problem, who has facets or desires for things like alcohol, and are they really cures that people talk about? Because there's not very many of them, but TSM, it's very important to me, the Sinclair method, and it's really what I came on to do, and talk about body image, to talk about alcohol addiction, and actually a completely paradoxical and miraculous healing treatment. And you reach something that is called extinction. And I know we talk about extinction events a lot. We joke about it with the dinosaurs, and people's fish might float to the top of the pond. Doesn't matter if you've got a little saltwater pond or a little freshwater pond, or your little tank, or your guppy tank that you get your kids as they're growing up, or whatever. People will joke about that as an extinction event when their fish die en masse or something. But extinction is something that can actually happen with alcohol addiction, and actually there's beginning to be anecdotally evidence that it helps with marijuana abuse and use and addiction, because we all know these addictions are not just physical, they're emotional, they're social, they are deeply ingrained in so many different parts of ourselves. If we've got body, mind and spirit, if we are conscious and unconscious and the universe, you've really got to have something that goes to the core, or helps you from the foundation, from the right place up, so that the things that are in your control are controllable or not even an issue. So that's what's so important, so incredible about anyone who's done TSM, as opposed to going to classes, going to meetings. And that's the thing, people don't like becoming obsolete and having the masses realise that they're just not necessary, and that they are there for themselves and not for the person they're pretending to save. So is it important? This is my question. Is it important in anything in life who saves you? Who saves you? Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna save me? So is that important? I want you to think about that. I think that's a very valid question for all sorts of things that every single person that's ever listened to me, who has ever been born on this earth, who is ever going to be born, you know, who's going to save you? And does it matter who does? This could be in the case of a spiritual need, an emotional need, could be just purely physical needs such as survival and those primitive needs for shelter, security, safety, water, food. It could be if you're missing. It could be if you're lost. You know those expressions, I once was lost but now I'm found, was blind but now I see. That song's Amazing Grace. And it's a beautiful song. Amazing grace. Saving wretches. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Yeah, can't sing very well in tune or anything very often, a bit distracted because I'm on my way somewhere. So, but you know, just gospel music sometimes. I mean, if you've ever been psychotic, had schizophrenia, I'm not talking about schizophrenia or anything like that. Yeah, often gospel music is just what soothes and people listen to it. And you might think it's pretty strange, some of the music that I bring up on my channel, but there's a reason for that, and it's not because I'm Christian or particularly religious, but I have faith, and I have faith in things. Losing it now. I mean, as far as world events, I know we've gone past the tipping point. Things look pretty dark and pretty grim. So who's going to save you? It had better be yourself.